So, do you remember the first time you ever drove a car? Or your first driving lesson? Your first day at elementary school or high school? How about that? The first time you had to actually give a speech, or the first time you're considering doing a YouTube video? All of these firsts are challenges full of fear and lack of confidence. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 things I have learned that are fear busters and confidence builders. That's right, 3 fear busters and confidence builders for you to do your very first YouTube video. Or if you've maybe done a few videos, but you're still suffering from fear and a lack of confidence. Hi, this is old Mike, old me, living better. If you ain't dead, you ain't done. So let's get into this. Number 1, pre-build familiarity. Now, I remember when I had my first driving lesson, I was scared to death. By the 5th lesson, I wasn't so scared. I remember when I first started surfing, the first time I went into the water with my surfboard, and I looked at those waves, man, I was scared to death. 15 years later, I was on 15 and 20-foot surf all over Southern California and Northern California. Yeah, some apprehension and fear and really big surf, but I had the confidence because I had familiarity. How do you get familiarity if you don't have any? Well, here's my tip. And this is exactly what I did. Now, I've got 50 years of public speaking, but I still had a lot of apprehension and a little bit of fear when I started making YouTube videos. So I walked around for a couple of weeks and I just did this. I picked up my phone and I turned it on and I started making recordings. That's it. I made 2 and 3 recordings a day. Just not on any particular subject, just talking. I did talking head videos sitting in the living room. I did walking, talking videos. I did videos in the car. Everywhere I went, I did videos in the grocery store. I got familiar with holding that camera and talking into it. Once you get comfortable and familiar with holding whatever camera you're using, I was using my iPhone, man, it gets easier as it goes. Pretty soon after 2 or 3 days of doing 2 or 3 videos like that a week, and they don't have to be long, just make them 2 or 3 minutes even, you gain familiarity with the camera and being in front of the camera. Now, there's other issues involved, of course, but that's step number 1. Preload familiarity so that when the first time you sit down to recording a video, you're already familiar with it. You already are comfortable with holding that camera or putting it on a tripod or something and speaking into the camera. Number 2, set your expectations low. I love this one. This is another way to say your first videos are going to suck. That's the truth. That's the truth. You look at all the gurus, their first videos weren't very good. No, they weren't. This probably goes to our greatest fear, the fear that people won't like me, the fear of putting myself out there. Ali Abdul has a tremendous video. I think it's a pretty recent one. I'll put a link in the description to it. And he talks about this in the video. He talks about putting myself out there, the fear that people, not only will people won't like me, they're going to leave bad comments about me. It's a fear of rejection. None of us like to be rejected. So if I set my expectations low, in other words, my first videos are not going to be very good, and I set the benchmark so low, if I get 5 or 6 subscribers and 2 or 3 likes, man, I'm a big success. So set your expectations low. So number 3 is everything is figure-outable. When I started my YouTube channel going back 6 months ago and 3 months before that, the planning of it, I knew zero. I knew absolutely nothing. Now I knew how to use an iPhone. I'd shot selfies before and a few video for families and friends, but I knew nothing about YouTube. It was total a total blank when I went into this. But I did a simple thing in the very beginning. It's a shift in mindset. When you're approaching challenges and obstacles, you can say, I can't do this, or I can do this. If you're the kind of person that is always saying, I don't think I can do this, well, chances are you won't be able to do it. But if you're the kind of person that says, I'm going to take on the challenge, I think I can do this. And that leads me to recommending a book for you. It's a book called Everything is Figure-Outable. That's how I borrowed the title for this third point. Everything is Figure-Outable by Marie Forleo. Marie Forleo. The book by Marie Forleo. It is a delight. Now, I'll leave a link in the notes below in the description so you can buy it. I've got a link to the paperback. I have the Audible in the paperback. I like this book so well, I've both read it and listened to it. The reason I like listening to Audible, especially books where the author is the speaker, and she's the speaker in this, you get the nuances and the emotion of the author's input into the book. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this book. Her premise is that you can figure anything out. Let me give you a few quotes from the book that I really like. Challenges are meant to be faced, not avoided. They're the path to growth. Instead of asking what's wrong, ask what's possible. Fear is not the enemy. It's an essential part of the process. Now, that may be worth the book itself, that one quote. Other people have said it the same way. Fear is not the enemy. It's an essential part of the process. If you go into making a YouTube channel and you've never done this before, if you don't have fear, probably something's wrong with you and you ought to be fearful, okay? Fear is not the enemy. Don't let it stop you. It's an essential part of the process. We learn from our fears and from our mistakes. This is how we grow. Ali Abdaal, in the video that I've linked below, he makes a wonderful point. He says, if you want to grow and you want to become spiritual, if you want to become healthy, if you want to become emotionally sound, start a YouTube channel. How is he able to say that? Any of us that have started a YouTube channel and have put the effort and the time into it, there is a growth process. There is a process that we go through that's very powerful. Maria, one other quote that I like, she says, every problem is an opportunity in disguise. Every problem is an opportunity in disguise. You see how that's a mindset? A lot of people see problems and they go, oh man, no way I can do that. No, it's an opportunity in disguise with a simple shift of the mind. The key theme in this book is this. The core of the book is the assertion that believing anything is figure-outable is essential to overcoming obstacles. So what are the things in your life that are holding you back from starting your YouTube channel or continuing with your YouTube channel? These are the three things I'd encourage you today to really consider because they've really helped me. That is, preload familiarity. Get familiar with all of the equipment, all the software, especially at the very beginning with the camera. Get comfortable with holding that camera and talking into it. Set your expectations low. Do not compare yourself with other YouTubers that have been doing it for 3, 4, 5 years or longer. We all started it at zero. We all suck on the first 2 or 3 videos. We all go through the process. It's the initiation process of growing a YouTube channel. And most of the gurus leave all those videos up there so you can look back at them and see how bad it was and how good it is now. And the third thing is everything is figure-outable. You can do this. I know you can. This is old Mike. old me living better. If you want to support the channel, buy me a cup of coffee, like and subscribe. You can subscribe to my email. You can buy some of my merch if you want to. But most of all, today I want to encourage you. You can do this. You can. Put these 3 things into practice and get your first YouTube video out there, or get the next one out there, okay? Have a great day.